सर्वलोकं मयिकानं सरस्वती महाभागी विद्याकमललोचनी विद्यारूपी विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि च सरस्वती ॐ ऐं ॐ मा सर्वदा
India, or Republic of India, is the largest country in South Asia. The word Indian comes from Sindhu, a local name for the Indus River. Indians also call their country Bharat, the name of a legendary emperor. Indian history dates to the 3rd millennium BC, when Harappan civilization flourished in the Indus Valley. Aryan-speaking tribes from Central Asia began settling in northwestern India around 1700 BC. These groups eventually took much over of India. At times, powerful kingdoms such as the Mauryans and the Gupta Empire have ruled, but over the century, Persian, Greek, Barbarian, Kushan, and White Huns invaded India. Muslims entered India at the beginning of the 11th century AD and ruled much of the subcontinent for 800 years. The Mughal dynasty conquered Delhi and ruled from the 16th century until the 18th century. Islam made important contributions to South Asian civilization and shaped a great deal of India's cultural heritage. Europeans reached South Asia in 1498 when Portuguese sailors landed on the southwest coast of India. Over the next 2 centuries, Portugal, Holland set up trading posts and factories. By the middle of the 18th century, the British East India Company controlled most of the European trade in India, and the Britain ultimately ruled the entire region. The inability of British, Hindu, and Muslim leaders to agree on a successor state to the British Indian Empire resulted in the partition of the subcontinent to India and Pakistan in 1947. With a population of 940 million, modern India covers an area of about 3.2 million square kilometers, extending from the snow-covered Himalayan heights to the tropical rainforest of the south. As the 7th largest country in the world, India stands apart from the rest of Asia, marked off at its east by mountains and the sea, which give the country a distinct geographical identity. Bounded by the Great Himalayas in the north, it stretches southwards and at the Tropic of Cancer, takes off into the Indian Ocean between the Bay of Bengal on the east and the Arabian Sea on the west. A Hindi proverb states, every 2 miles the water doth change, and every 4 the dialect. India has 1,653 dialects. There are about 24 languages that are spoken by more than 1 million people. India today recognizes 14 spoken languages as official. Besides Sanskrit, the classical language of northern India is also an official language. English is widely used for national, political, and business purposes. In India, religion is a way of life. It is an integral part of the entire Indian tradition. For the majority of Indians, religion permeates every aspect of life. There is no unique philosophy that forms the basis of the faith of the majority of India's population. This religion cannot be traced to a specific founder, nor does it have a holy book as a basic scriptural guide. The Rig Veda, Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita can all be described as the sacred texts of the Hindus. There are festivals and ceremonies associated not only with gods and goddesses, but also with the sun, moon, planets, rivers, ocean, trees, and animals. Some of the popular Hindu festivals are Deepavali, Holi, Dussehra, and so on. These innumerable festive occasions lend Hinduism its amazing popular appeal and make the Indian tradition rich and colorful. The Arab traders brought Islam to India in the early 8th century, but it was not until the 12th century that it became a force to reckon with in the Indian subcontinent. The concept, customs, and religious practices of Islam were unique to the faith, which professed universal brotherhood and submission to Allah, the God Almighty. Invaders in the 12th century and the Mughal rulers in the 16th and 17th centuries helped in the spread of Islam in India. In its first phase, Islams were aggressive, but the mystic of Islam or the citizen helped in spreading the message of peace and universal love.
India, the land of Buddha. An extraordinary journey begins in this sacred place where he took his first steps on the path to enlightenment. This is the land where he first spread his word, where people heard, and where his life took shape. Discover for yourself the journey of Buddha to his final resting place. Immerse yourself in his life here in India, the land of Buddha.
Incredible India.
To greet someone in Namaste, bring your hands together with palms touching in front of your chest in graceful fashion. Men shake hands with men when meeting or leaving. Men do not touch women when meeting or reading. Contacts and networking are very important in India, so Indians like to give out and receive business cards. Your business card should list your name, nickname, title, email address, other information such as your company mailing address. The Indian sari is the traditional dress for Indian women. It is comprised of one piece of fabric, which is 5 to 9 yards long and 2 to 4 feet wide. Dhoti is the national dress of India. Khan is a traditional knee-length jacket worn in India. For business, shoes and ties are common outfits for male. Hindi cinema, often known as Bollywood, is the Indian Hindi language film industry. The term is a portmanteau of Bombay and Hollywood. Indian cinema is the world's largest film industry in film production. Bollywood represents 43% of Indian net box office revenue. Bollywood has for long exerted a deep influence in fashion. Any outfit adorned by an actor or an actress in a hit movie immediately becomes a pictorial trend for tailors to reproduce. Indian food has become popular over the years because of its amazing diversity. India is comprised of 29 states. Each state has its own culture and elaborate cuisine. Indian wings has something to please every kind of taste bud. This cuisine map of India will definitely amaze you. It shows the huge delicious varieties of food Indians indulge in. India is rightly called the land of spices. Indians are known the world over for their aroma, texture, and taste. India produces about 75% of the 109 varieties of spices listed by the International Organization for Standardization. India has the world's lowest meat consumption per person because the high prevalence of vegetarianism and the limited varieties of meat being available in India due to religious beliefs and taboos. Indian cuisine consists of a wide variety of regional and traditional cuisines native to the Indian subcontinent. Given the range of diversity in soil type, climate, culture, ethnic groups, and occupation, the cuisines vary substantially from each other and use locally available spices, herbs, vegetables, and fruits. Indian food is also heavily influenced by religion, cultural choices, and traditions. It's not about the food and eating habits of the earliest Indian civilization because the ancient language has not been deciphered yet.